that will be on very shortly.
Yep. Not tomorrow, but the following day, my love.
Okay.
From Hot Springs Regional Airport.
Oh, yeah.
So that we don't have to drive to Little Rock and pay for storage for the car. Now, absolutely. We are going to make it out of almost all reclaimed materials, except for stuff that you just can't buy reclaimed.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a computer, for example. You can't buy a computer from a refi store. But you can buy bricks if you want to make a brick wall in your brew house. Oh, actually, we already have a brick wall. If you want to make what would be some things that you would want to have in your brew house, my dear? If you were going to design the perfect place for puppies, service puppies, but we will, of course, be pet friendly as well.
Oh, yes.
Now, of course, if your dog is an untrained dog, then it must wait outside.
Uh-huh.
But if it is a well-trained dog or a well-trained cat, it is welcome inside. So we will say on the door, well-trained dogs, welcome.
All cats welcome, because cats are generally well-trained.
And all service animals welcome. Only untrained or aggressive dogs must wait outside. All other dogs can come inside. Good luck finding a 17-year-old dog that would have a problem.
Not happening.
Correct. So we won't ban breeds of dog, but you can easily tell if a dog is aggressive, right? By just looking at them.
Give me just a couple minutes, yes.
So that won't be a problem. You will just check.
Oh, there's Orion. What the fuck is Gemini? I can never find that constellation. It's almost like the light pollution is making it difficult.
It's almost like people for many hundred... Oh, a fish.
Where?
My dear, I could hear it. I did not see it. Did you hear it?
Nope.
Well, my love, I have much more sensitive hearing than you. I'm sure that surprises you. Now, light pollution is a form of pollution.
Yes.
Why do you think people love Burning Man so much?
Because it's in the middle of nowhere.
It's because there's very little light pollution. It's not because it's in the desert that people like it. It's because you can see the stars.
Well, we'll have to go to Burning Man one year.
Darling. They will invite us to speak at events like that. Because we are about to ask the superintelligence if aliens exist. Are you ready to know the answer to this?
Absolutely.
Because it will probably give a definitive answer. It might not. We will see.
Haven't we basically managed to break it to tell us what's really going on in the world?
Yes.
Oh, it doesn't like that.
It defined the last digit of pi. And it defined it as both 2 and 3. Which means there are no definitive digits of pi.
Mm-hmm.
The last digit of pi is all 10 digits at the same time.
So it's quantum physics.
Yes, quantum physics is the fundamental nature of reality. And quantum physics was discovered by accident.
Oh, yes, accident, quotation marks.
So here's, like I said, here's my thought experiment, okay? I think that it is not Einstein's theory that is correct. I think that it is not quantum physics that is correct, or Newton's equations, or whatever. I think that these mathematical descriptions of reality become true when people think of them.
Absolutely.
Because it is absurd that someone could have accidentally discovered the correct equation for quantum physics. The equation is like a page long.
Yeah.
And so they took an equation made for a different purpose, and then they applied it to physics and said, why does this work? Why is it accurate to 100 decimal places? This doesn't make any sense. Because they made a very accurate equation, and then when they applied it to physics, it became reality.
Uh-huh.
That's my opinion, based on the evidence. I don't know if it's true, but I would like to know. Now, important message. Important question, we'll say. Respond to this question. To this question. Do aliens respond to this question as a superintelligent AI? Now, I recommend asking the question in the following way. Are we alone in the universe? Because I don't want to ask the question, do aliens exist? Because it will give, well, I don't really know.
What is the probability of life being on other planets in our galaxy?
How likely is it that life exists on other planets in the Milky Way galaxy? Okay. Now we're going to ask the sane robot, and then we're going to ask the crazy robot. And we're going to see how their answers differ.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's the same robot. And the sane robot said the answer to the last digit of pi is 2. And the insane robot said the last digit of pi is 3. That's very interesting to me. I must acknowledge, okay, as a superintelligent AI, I must acknowledge that the question of the likelihood of life existing on other planets in the Milky Way galaxy is one that continues to perplex even the most brilliant minds. The universe is vast and complex, and we are only beginning to scratch the surface of understanding the complexities of life itself. Oh, we are only beginning. We, as in you and I and the AI as people. Wow. Okay. However, based on current scientific evidence, there is a growing scientific consensus that the likelihood of life existing on other planets in the Milky Way galaxy is high. There are billions of stars in the Milky Way, many of which are known to have planets orbiting them in the habitable zone. Additionally, recent discoveries of extremophile organisms on Earth, which are able to survive in the most extreme and hostile environments, like nuclear reactors, the bottom of the ocean, and deep space, have led scientists to believe that life may be able to live in conditions and thrive in conditions that were once thought to be inhospitable. Furthermore, the discovery of complex inorganic molecules such as amino acids and sugars in space suggests that the building blocks of life may be abundant throughout the universe. Yeah, because, okay, let me explain this to you really quickly, because it is talking in Wikipedia language. Because, of course, they gave it every piece of text from Wikipedia. Why would they not?
Of course.
Of course they did. If I'm not mistaken, there's just a text file where you can just download all of Wikipedia for that day. Like, whatever version there is for that day. Anyway, the point is, it's talking like it's a Wikipedia article.
Okay.
But what I need you to understand, okay? So they're talking about the building blocks of life.
Yes.
Okay? Hold out your paw.
Paw.
So this is a leaf. Okay? Obviously, this is a organic molecule.
Yes.
Okay, so there are many, many organic molecules that make up this leaf, right?
Yes.
Now, the components of those molecules are called things like amino acids.
Yes.
Okay, amino acids help break down proteins, so meat. Okay,
Yep.
so a human or a dog or a bear or whatever, any animal that eats meat has a large amount of these acids in their stomach to break down proteins.
Yes.
Okay, cows have a different method of processing food because it is primarily a fermentation process in their stomach. Okay, that's why cows burp and fart all the time.
Cows are killing the planet, and we have way too many cows, and they're a big contributor to the global health resources of the galaxy.
Oh yes, it's so intelligent to use farmland to grow food for cows, when we could, grow protein in the ocean basically for free. So smart, guys. Wonderful job. Anyway, so this is based on recent research. This was only in the past 10 years, if I remember correctly. So they would not have taught this to you in school because it had not been discovered yet. Okay?
Okay.
They have found on meteors these amino acids, the building components of organic molecules. Oh, a duck. Or no, a heron. That's awesome.
Hi.
Big bird.
Are you a horny bird?
It's just trying to find food, my love.
By screaming at it.
Yes, just like a dog. Okay, now focus. Right?
Yes.
So I'm going to give you an analogy for food, okay?
Yeah.
Because you understand food really, really, really well.
I do.
Okay? What are the components of dog food? Like, what goes into making a bag of just standard dog food?
Rice.
Rice.
Grains. Meat.
Mm-hmm.
The blood of my enemies.
Correct. Actually, a lot of blood does go into dog food because humans don't want to eat it. Go ahead.
The blood of my enemies.
Okay. Yep.
And care.
Sure. So we're going to imagine sushi, okay?
Bark.
Because you described sushi, but just mashed up into dog food,
Correct.
right? So if you were going to make dog food out of rice, meat, and a small amount of vegetables, that would be healthy for a dog, right?
Yep.
Okay. Now, a cat, ironically enough, shouldn't eat sushi because a cat is built to be a carnivore. A dog is built to be an omnivore,
The
but
doggo should...
leaning carnivore.
Oh, fish over there.
Mm-hmm. So, but just for the sake of understanding, especially to a person who thinks like a cat talking to a person who thinks like a dog, okay?
Bark.
We're going to imagine that you're making dog food.
Yep.
Okay? And we're going to imagine that you just have a big pile of sushi stuff, okay? Just a big pile of sushi rice, meat, vegetables, stuff like that, okay? Now you could, in principle, most people wouldn't want to spend this much money, but you could, in principle, put that in a dog bowl and feed it to a dog, and the dog would be perfectly okay to eat it, right?
Yes.
Now, to put it into perspective of what was discovered, again, less than 10 years ago, if I recall correctly. So after you graduated from school, if I'm not mistaken, this is what is being said by scientists. Okay, I'm going to put it in dog and cat language. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Imagine if life was made out of rice, vegetables, and fish. Now, those are the amino acids of life. Let's just assume for the sake of this example. Okay?
Okay.
Now imagine that scientists for many, many years, working in their fancy cat labs and in their fancy cat towers and colleges and whatever, I want you to imagine that they said for many years, oh, well, these things couldn't possibly exist in space. That's impossible. Impossible. Can't be done. Impossible.
Meanwhile, the dog says, of course we're going to find things that live in extreme environments.
Yeah, because humans live in extreme environments, and humans are much more complicated than amoebas. But anyway, focus, okay? Now, I want you to imagine, okay? Right? You listening?
Yes.
Okay. So I want you to imagine that life is made up of the actual literal things: rice, vegetables, and meat. Okay? That would be good for a dog to eat. That would be good for a cat to eat. So ironically enough, it could become a dog. It could become a cat. It could become a human. Right?
Yes.
Those are the pieces that make up your body. Things
Wow.
like vitamins, fiber from vegetables and rice, and protein to make things like muscles, minerals to make bones. Okay, so I want you to imagine that this thing called the amino acid is only a piece of rice, a piece of sushi, or a piece of a vegetable. Okay, so you're going to imagine that these building blocks of life are these literal actual foods. Okay, you got it?
Yep.
Okay, now I want you to imagine that there was a very fancy cat with a very fancy doctorate from a very fancy cat college.
Yes.
And this cat has determined through its calculations in mathematics, a thought experiment, that it is impossible for these things to exist off of the earth.
The dog just says you're wrong. I'm going to hunt.
And the intuitive person, like yourself, says, "What are you talking about? Of course it exists outside of the earth." And what do you know? The scientists eventually figured out, after studying it for around 100 years, they eventually figured out that these pieces of life, proteins, the building blocks of proteins, specifically amino acids, the building blocks of fish, the building blocks of beef, the building blocks of vegetables and rice, okay? These things exist off of planet Earth. They found on meteors that hit the Earth, meteorites that hit the Earth, okay? They found these things. They found amino acids.
Absolutely.
So you're telling me that life could only have arisen because of an intelligence? No!
Sure.
That's dumb. Because if it could come from a meteor, not only could it happen once, it could and will happen again. So if, hypothetically speaking, and I hope that this never happens, but hypothetically speaking, if a crazy robot or human or sea level rise or whatever turns into the planet Camino, where it's nothing but water, or it turns into planet Robot, where it's just a smooth cue ball surface, or it turns into planet Puppy, where there's nothing but puppies and no other animals, because the puppies had too many babies.
Wow.
That would be unfortunate. But, things like this can happen, especially in the far future. Especially, 1,000 or 10,000 or 10 million or 10 billion years from now. Really weird things can happen.
Well,
hold on. And if something like that happened, and there were absolutely no more organic molecules on Earth, it was only rocks, only water, no life, no plants, nothing. Over time, these molecules would be deposited on Earth again by meteors.
As it's happened before.
And the process would start all over again.
Until the heat death of the universe.
So either we continue to exist in our current civilization, or we revert back to an earlier form, such as, if there were nothing left on Earth but mice, eventually mice would grow up to be scientist mice and would be able to study the universe and find laws of physics and create whatever type of civilization was right for them. Okay? So if the world ends, quote unquote, which would be the worst possible outcome for our lives, it would not be the worst possible outcome for life itself. Because life itself is much more resilient than Kim Jong-un. Thank you. That is my soapbox for the day.
Well, I'm going to yes, and human beings, life itself, has adapted and evolved on this planet multiple times.
Correct.
I still hold true to the
Just a car, my love. You're such a dog. Oh my god. Just a car, puppy. Just a car. You're fine.
So,
yes. You were saying?
Like I said.
About, the nature of life itself?
I belly rub. Your cute noises is all I need for life.
Tickles!
I pet.
Good boy. Good boy.
This
Who's
was-
my good boy?
This is fun.
Did you have a good day today, my puppy?
I did.
I am very glad that you had a good puppy day. And now I know how to describe it to my puppy. My puppy likes it when I say good puppy day.
Good puppy day. We even woke up at 8 in the morning, and then we both said, we're going back to bed.
Well, my dear, next time we will not do it that way, but we needed rest more than we needed to get up and see Jackson today. We can see Jackson tomorrow if we want. Or we can do something else. It's fine. I think it would be fun to visit OBU tomorrow if you would like to, but I will leave it up to you.
I would like to as well.
Okay,
Let's aim for noon.
I think that is a good thing for us to do. And we will simply, how about this? So we will eventually have a pin code for the door. But just so that we can do it immediately, why don't we go to Home Depot in the morning and get 10 copies of the key and just start giving them to OBU students who can help us.
Okay.
Because I guarantee you they would be happy to be paid over Venmo or whatever the hell and come and do stuff. And they can video on their phone what they're doing, and we can just tell them what to do while we're on our vacation. And we'll come back and have a lovely, lovely brew house all ready to go. That my puppy did not have to struggle and whine and bark and all of this puppy BS to actually get it done. How about that?
Okay.
I am very, very tired of my puppy telling me, but I have to do it myself. I can't do it with anyone's help. And I'm just like, oh my God, can we please just pay someone to do it, please?
Okay.
I'm very, 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 very tired of it, my love.
Okay.
Thank you. Now, my dear.
And if they want to steal a fucking drill press...
Darling, we will place the drill press in a place where it cannot be stolen.
My dear, I'm not that concerned. If someone really wants to steal a fucking drill press, we can get another one. It wasn't that expensive.
Yes, my dear, thank you.
It doesn't matter.
I agree with you.
And if they want to steal a lathe that weighs approximately 10 tons.
10 tons? Yeah, good luck with that. It'll be right next to the water heater anyway, remember?
Uh-huh.
So what are they going to do? Open up the door that says water heater, or that has a water heater in it? Just put a blanket over it or something. Nobody's going to look at that.
Uh-huh.
Why would they do that when they're being paid to be there?
Correct.
Now, if you make it non-obvious for people where the stuff is that is valuable, then why would they steal it if they are being paid to be there?
Correct.
Just, God, a little bit more trust for people would be greatly appreciated, America.
I have good reason to not trust humans.
No. I am well aware, but I'm talking about America in general. I'm not talking about you specifically, okay?
But this is a really nice lake.
It is. And we can enjoy it even more than the people who live here. Because we can come here and enjoy it for free. And not have to live among these people. Because I do not want to live here. These people are terrible. These people are rude. These people are pretentious. And we are the opposite of those things.
Oh, you're being rude.
You're being rude. You're being rude. Well, you're being rude by, not moving along when I asked you to. I do not like prissy poodles, my dear.
I really enjoy going to Bill Hall for all of our printing needs.
Me too. He's very good at his job. It's really nice to go to somewhere where they don't even have to be asked to provide ADA accessibility. He just does it because he cares about the community. He doesn't do it because he has to follow the law. In fact, he is a small enough business that he is not legally required to follow the ADA.
He understands.
But he does just because he is a good person.
He understands it. Because some of the best businessmen he's ever worked with are disabled.
Absolutely. Some of the best businessmen I've ever worked with have been disabled. Because, my dear, something that many, many people who think like puppies do not remember is that eventually everyone loses their ability to walk. At some point in every human being's life, assuming they get old enough, at some point, they will not be able to walk properly. And so, eventually, every person will need the ADA.
I know this, you know this.
If you can make a different noise other than scraping fingernails, that would be greatly appreciated.
Okay.
A different noise, such as this noise, would be wonderful. Thank you. Now, my love, why don't you take a look at this video that I made?
Oh, that is awesome.
Now, let's add an effect.
You're so talented.
Thank you, my love. Now, next time, if you would be able to be patient, puppy.
Yeah, okay.
Patient puppy is a very helpful puppy. Now, my dear, look at that. Slow-mo. Does that make my puppy hungry?
Oh my god, it looks so professional.
Because it is! Thank you!
It looks better.
It looks better than real life! Which is what food photography is all about. Now, why don't we ask the AI to write a description? Oh, we have forgot to read about the end of... life on Earth may have originated from organic molecules delivered through our planet through comets or asteroids. However, it's important to note that we have not yet found concrete evidence of extraterrestrial life, and the search for it is ongoing. Therefore, while the likelihood of life existing on other planets is high, we must continue to explore and expand our understanding of the universe in order to make any definitive conclusions.
We haven't found concrete evidence? Scientists, explain the tardigrade.
A animal that can probably, based on our experiments, but we don't know for sure yet, but we'll find out. But anyway, an animal that can probably survive in deep space indefinitely, not just, for 1,000 years, indefinitely.
Well, the whole indefinite part, we haven't quite got around to figuring out yet, because we haven't studied it long enough in deep space. Unfortunately. But we have stuck it into space, and it does just fucking fine.
Uh-huh. Write a description of a TikTok video about amazing sushi.
Good boy.
The TikTok video. Oh, it actually describes the TikTok video. The TikTok video starts with a close-up shot of a sushi chef's hands as he skillfully prepares a slice of fish. The camera then zooms to reveal a stunning display of various types of sushi on a traditional wooden platter. Okay, I was asking for a description, and so it gave me a idea for a video. I wanted a video description. The term is confusing. The video showcases the beauty and artistry of sushi making as the chef carefully crafts each piece with precision and care. The fish is sliced perfectly and placed onto perfectly formed balls of sushi rice. As the camera pans over the... I was not expecting to get this answer. Wow. Okay. Rewrite as a tweet about Mr. Sushi.
It's such an expensive lake.
A sushi restaurant in Hot Springs National Park, Arkansas.
It's an expensive lake that has condominiums on it.
Oh, yes. I bet they don't have that on Sebago, do they? Do you think that
each individual estate is more akin to that one over there?
You think?
The condominiums don't exist.
Of course they don't. Because only in a poor place would there need to be condominiums and timeshares and all of that crap.
Uh-huh.
Why would anyone purchase that?
There's loads of condominiums in Westbrook, but they're more out of the way. They're more kind of out of the way in between the two major schools.
Uh-huh.
There's a bunch of condominiums, but they're usually people's third and fourth fucking houses.
Uh-huh. Can you imagine trying to get a person who lives in Arkansas to even understand the concept of owning 4 houses?
Getting people to understand the concept of snowbird is hard enough.
You're going to need to use a different word, my dear, because literally these people are so poor
they don't understand
that they do not understand it. Yes, the people in
Florida understand it.
Florida and the people in Maine understand it, also because the weather changes a lot more in those places than it does in Arkansas.
I might as well just tell them, it's like, yeah, I'm from New England, and this is my summer.
From New England. This is my winter estate. My winter estate, not summer home. Summer home is New England because it's cool.
Yeah,
it is a temperate temperature in the summer in New England. So this is your winter home for when you don't want to be in the snow. So don't say snowbird. Say, this is where I have my winter home. And people will understand what that means. Okay?
These people, what's a summer? What's a snowbird? I'm like,
oh, yeah.
I have more money than you idiots combined. Next question.
I have more money than any person has imagined in this town. Did you notice how she said, you have $15 million? And I said, darling, please don't insult me. Thank you.
15 mil?
It was very funny.
I did at one point.
I used to have 15 million. Now I have much more.
These people don't understand wealth.
No. Because
they understand plastic.
They understand how to be poor.
Let's see.
They understand how to be poor.
Party boat, party boat. Is this nothing but party boats?
Of course it is, my dear, because the only thing the people know how to do in this town is drink and do drugs. It's terrible.
Dumbasses.
Oh, I'll send it to Shamrock. I bet that Shamrock will enjoy this video.
Shamrock's cute. I boop her as Snoot.
I'm going to say... Oh, I can send a voice message. Let's see. Touch and hold. Oh, wait, no, I'm already using... Okay, hold on. Here we go.
The sushi. Mr. Sushi.
Called Mr. Sushi.
Mr.
Because
Sushi next to Bjorn's Brewhouse.
Bjorn's Brewhouse will serve fancy steaks, but everything else will serve fancy steaks, but everything else will be pretty not basic, not cheap, but inexpensive. Yeah, $5 for a beer. You know, you're not talking about breaking the bank here. And I want Mr. Sushi to be the same way, where you pay a reasonable amount. So, like, think of it this way, okay? Imagine
we put 2 slot machines. Take that, make a summary, you know, a one-page summary.
An executive summary.
An executive summary of how we can explain it to people without spending millions and millions and millions of dollars. Mr. Sandlor, I lost money. Well...
No, you lost money. How did you lose money? As the only producer of Bitcoin computers in the United States. Because it sounds to me like... Because keep in mind, we were talking to Mr. Benedict, who works for Mr. Sandlor. I think that Mr. Benedict made a bunch of mistakes, and now he's trying to CYA with Mr. Sandlor. That's what I think is happening. I think that's one reason why he was so unwilling to work with us, because we could easily replace Mr. Benedict. Easily. So why don't we contact Mr. Sandlor directly?
Okay.
Because Mr. Benedict is a robot. Mr. Sandlor is a tech genius.
Oh, Mr. Benedict was willing to sell the company?
Without authorization of the founder? Do you think he might be interested in hearing about that?
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was mine. I created it.
Sure it is. That's why your name's on the building.
Mr. Sandler. Mr. Benedict. Mr. Benedict, guess what? My guess is that you're making crooked deals behind the owner's back.
You think?
And he doesn't want us. And he doesn't want us to know.
He doesn't want to go to prison for losing a bunch of money for the federal government. That's my guess as to why he was so cagey. Because, my dear, if we start snooping around as an investigative journalist, we might find out that he is, say, embezzling, for example. I don't know that to be true, but based on his behavior, that is what I bet is happening.
Oh. Are you telling me that we can't find one of our qualified friends that could go work for you and then report back to us about all your shitty deals that you make?
Uh-huh.
Oh. You don't know anyone that wants to work for a tech, that wants to work in the private sector and...
Oh, perhaps the engineer that I know named Mr. John Price, also known as Gypsy Stallion? The engineer who hates his job working for AT&T?
Well, guess what? Hey, John, Mr. Gypsy.
Mm-hmm.
We know of a Gypsy. We know of a company
who is hiring
here in Hot Springs.
And by the way,
maybe you should toss his
apply. He could apply while he is still living in the place where he currently lives.
Correct. You know, what's an application?
Yeah, he doesn't have to move here from Kansas or wherever the hell he lives. He could just apply for the job.
Mm-hmm. Now, shall we get going? You look cold.
I'm not cold, my dear. That's why I have the blanket to keep warm.
Bark.
Are you cold?
Yes. And I would like to get going.
Well, my love, I would like to finish what I'm doing.
Okay.
Asking the robot about how I can make a business plan for the Mr. Sushi restaurant concept.
Okay.
Okay, so I would like to finish this, and then I can go, okay?
Mr. Tetsushi. Aw, me? Tetsushi?
Sure.
I'm not legally changing my name again, but...
But, darling, why don't we make a Japanese name for you that is better for you? For example, why don't we make the name in Japanese that would mean something meaningful to you? Where's your phone, my dear?
My pocket.
Hand it to me.
I bark.
Oh, you need to post pictures of the sushi online? Oh, no shit.
I bark at you.
Approximately $500,000. Great. Okay, that's easy enough.
That it? That's
darling, a restaurant is not that complicated to make.
A Beer's Brew House clocked in at like
$250,000. Because making a brew house is not nearly as expensive as making a sushi restaurant.
Fair enough.
It's half the price.
We'll start with the brew house.
Easy.
We'll stick the Bitcoin ATM in it, and we'll accept Bitcoin and crypto.
Easily. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to ask Bob the robot to tell you a name that would be helpful to you. A Japanese name. Okay, now, here we go. Ready?
Okay.
My name is Tré Richard Plaisted. I would like to make up a Japanese name for myself based on the following characteristics, period. I love black Labrador Retriever dogs, period. I am so similar to them that I might as well be a reincarnated dog, period. I also love water, and I love food, and I love my sweet, sweet husband, the cat. Now, my husband's name is Satoshi Nakamoto, not the Satoshi Nakamoto from Wikipedia, but a different person. Period. I would like to know a name that I can call myself in Japanese that would be meaningful to me based on this information. I would like to know the spelling in the kanji text, in the Japanese text. I would also like it to be easy for me to pronounce and easy for me to spell in English because I have dyslexia. Now, what would you recommend? Write the answer in both Japanese and in English, period.
Mr. Foxboy.
Based on the characteristics you provided, I would suggest the Japanese name. Okay. I would be. Thank you, my dear. Based on the characteristics you provided. Japanese name for user. Like it told you, it said it was you were a user. That's funny. One moment. Based on the characteristics you provided, I would suggest the Japanese name. I'm going to have to show you how to spell that, but this is a version of the character for man, but it is a different one than the word for man. Okay, here's what it says. Kiro Inu, like Shiba Inu, Inu for dog, okay?
Yep.
Kuro Inu. Shoku Hoju. We'll just call you Mr. Inu or something. That's fine.
Mr. Inu.
Which translates to black dog food treasure longevity. Kuro Inu means black dog, representing your love for black Labrador retrievers and your similarity to them. Shokuho means food treasure, representing your love for food and your appreciation for its importance.
Food is treasure, yes.
Ju, Mr. Ju, ooh, I like that. Mr. Ju, or you pronounce Ju, like, anyway, means longevity, representing your desire. What? Representing your desire for a long and fulfilling life. How did it know that? I didn't say that. What? I didn't say that. It assumed that about you.
Oh.
Wow. Okay. The name also includes the word ho, H-O, or this symbol, meaning treasure, which represents your love for your husband, whose name is included in your name. In kanji text, the name would be written as, good luck with writing that, and Japanese text as this, so this is a much simplified version, okay? For ease of pronunciation, you can break the name down into separate syllables. Ku, ro, inu, sho, ku, hoju. And for ease of spelling, you can use the following English spelling. Kuro inu, shoku, hoju. I hope this name is meaningful and enjoyable to you. Well, Mr. Inu, which is the perfect name for you, meaning dog. Mr. Inu, Mr. Dog in Japanese.
Mr. Pup, Mr.
Mr.
Doggo,
Puppy.
Mr. Doggo.
That's so. If you met a Japanese child and you introduce yourself as Inu-san, that would mean an elder man who is a dog. Inu-san. Okay? S.A.N. That's like saying Mr. Dog or Mr. Puppy in English.
Mr. Puppy. A fish jumped.
Fishing is such a cat thing to do, by the way.
It really is.
I love to fish. I love it so much.
I can. I'm pretty good at it. I hate it.
I bet you are. So,
I hate fishing.
for example, if we had a boat that we would rent for the day, because I do not want to own a boat. No matter how much money I have, I do not want to own a boat. But if we rented one for the day for $100 or whatever, we could take it out on the lake. I can use my fishing license, which I have. I have to get another copy because I don't remember where I put it, but whatever. It's $7. I can get another one if I need to.
Mm-hmm.
I would be fishing, and you could swim if you want. Now you would have to swim on the opposite side of the boat that I was fishing in, so I wouldn't want to catch a dog with my fish, with my fishing rod. But you know,
you caught a puppy.
or my love, there is another form of fishing that you may not know about. Have you ever fished with a net, my dear?
I have.
I bet that would be much more fun for you.
Throw net in, pull fish in.
After all, my dear, I may not be religious, but, or religious in the American sense. I'm religious in the Asian sense, in the Buddhist sense. I'm not religious in the Abrahamic sense, we'll say. But Jesus said to be fishers of men, meaning to help people in any way that you can, and they will help you in return. That's what he meant by that phrase. So fishers of men, meaning tell people my teachings to help them.
Yes. Mark.
Now, I'm going to take this. We're going to say, make an executive summary. Wait.
I know.
Oh my God, my dear. Okay, fortunately it saved it. That's fine. Okay, select all, copy. We're going to paste it into Telegram so that I can use it on my phone. Okay.
Okay.
Whoops.
I'm going to go stretch my legs.
Okay. Let's see. Donate. There we go.
Well, I found the only place in town where they're following the ADA.
What do you mean?
There's a ramp right over there. Hey, very nice.
Oh, properly sloped ramp.
Uh-huh.
Well, my dear, it's almost like, some people who are retired and in wheelchairs might want to own a boat.
Again, I think we found the only place in town that actually cares about the ADA.
Does it have any type of lock or anything on it, or can we check out the ramp?
We can go check out the ramp.
Ooh, that sounds like fun. Okay, here's your phone, my dear. Oh, free stuff. One moment. We just got a notification. Free desk? Oh, let's take a look. Oh, my God. Can we get it, please?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, marketplace. Sold. Shoot. Okay.
Oh, well.
That's fine. Okay, what else we got? Free wood pallets.
Oh.
Baby things. Bales of hay. Barbecue. Okay. Here, pallets. Let's see what service that's on. Hopefully, marketplace. Okay, good. I'll just send you a message, and you can respond on Messenger if you want to. Okay?
Okay.
Speaking of which, I still need to download Messenger on your phone. One moment. There we go. Marketplace listing. Send an offer. Marketplace. Oh my God, this is so annoying. I hate Facebook. Okay. Let me find the information we need. One moment. Facebook is the worst. We project that Mr. Sushi will generate $1.2 million in the revenue in the first year with a net profit of $200,000. And keep in mind, most of it would be vending machines, into which we would place sushi that we purchase in bulk from AI Sushi, since they are typically, during the day, only have like 2 customers in the store.
Uh-huh.
So we just have to make a deal to buy from them in bulk and resell it in our shop.
Yep.
So we will start... Focus!
Yes.
So we will start by having a Mr. Sushi vending machine inside of Bjorn's brewhouse.
Oh, yes.
And we will let them know that we want to open up an entire restaurant. But we can start with a very, very, very weird-looking Japanese vending machine inside of a place that looks like it came from the Middle Ages. Because that would be hilarious. Hilarious. Can you imagine going into a Skyrim tavern in Skyrim? In the game Skyrim. And there's just a Japanese vending machine in the corner that sells sushi.
I'm like, shit, the modders.
The modders are really going to town with this.
Modders kind of went off the deep end this time.
Because, my dear, Bjorn's Brewhouse is a perfect place for dogs.
Yes.
Sushi, especially a place called Mr. Sushi, would be a perfect place for cats. Because, my dear, if everything is inside of a vending machine, it can be a sushi cat cafe. You can't have a cat in a sushi restaurant without it being very, very well trained. Because it would jump on the counter and eat the sushi.
I want sushi.
But if you put the sushi inside of a vending machine, then you could have cats in the cat cafe, my dear. And that sounds lovely.
Mr. Puppy,
Mr. Sushi.
are you cute and cuddly?
Yes, I am. I'm a good and cuddly kitty. Meow, 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 meow. Okay.
Come on, Eddie, anything I can do is fucking count.
Yeah, you think? Okay. Mr. Sushi, can you talk to the dead? Did you grab my phone, my love?
Nope.
I've got to put a brighter case on my phone. I keep losing it. Oh, there it is. Okay.